Thanks for coming back on the show, and we're speaking just after, a week or so after you came back from Malaysia to, I'd say, quote, test a MotoGP bike, or certainly give it a shakedown. Anyway, tell us how that came about.
It was all through Stuart and Steve Hickin from Hawk Racing. They've been in contact with Suzuki out in Japan, and obviously it helped me doing the Suzuka A Tower with Yoshimura. I think that obviously helped to try and secure the test. But yeah, it was quite last minute. I mean, we spoke a little bit about it last year to try and do the test on the GP bike, and it went a bit quiet over the winter. And Steve was still working hard to try and get confirmation from the Japanese and from the Suzuki team to say yes to be able to do a few laps on the GP bike, and they came back 3 days before I was supposed to be flying out, so it was a little bit late notice, but no, it was an amazing experience to be offered to go out there and spend the 3 days with the test team, and just being out there with them, and on the last day was able to do 2 15-minute stints on the GP bike.
Pretty good, certainly, and even though it might not have been a full-blown test with like representative sort of tyres and times and stuff, it was still, I'm sure, a dream come true for you.
No, it was definitely. I mean, it's always something that I've always wanted to do as a kid, to throw my leg over a GP bike and to be given the opportunity by Suzuki. It was massive, and it's definitely a day in my career that I won't forget. Remembering from when I first started on the mini bikes to be able to chuck my leg over a GP bike is something quite special, and obviously it's just one of them days that are going to stick with me forever.
Well, I have to ask, I'm sure lots of people listening will also be thinking the same thing. Are you going to be, Brad, at some stage, one of only a few people to make the switch directly from BSB into MotoGP?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's never as easy as trying to get the deal done and move straight from BSB to MotoGP. Obviously, there's a few people in the past that have done it.
I think was the last person Shaky Byrne?
I think he was, yeah. He went from BSB into GP, I think. But yeah, like I said, that the GP teams always seem to look more into Moto2 and bring riders up from Moto2 into MotoGP. But yeah, I mean, I think they should look outside GP, because there's a lot of talent in World Superbikes and also in British Championship.
Well, you've still got a lot to do this year anyway, so I just thought I'd get that question out there just in case you were maybe lining up a cheeky ride, something for 2020 maybe. And who knows, it could be a thing, and we hope so, certainly from our point of view. Any other sort of, because we know you did stuff like World Superbikes in the past, and is there a potential talk about any wildcard rides maybe in this year in MotoGP maybe?
The question hasn't been asked yet. We haven't really spoke to them about doing any wildcards. They've obviously got Juan Mir and Alex Rins as their two riders for this year, and they've also got Takuya Tsuda and Sylvain Guintoli as test riders, so it'd be quite unlikely to get a test and to be able to do a wildcard. But we'll see. It's going to be one of them where if anything pops up, then I'd have to take it.
I'm sure you would, yeah. Well, I'm sure you'd love to do something like that. So, of all the, I mean, you've ridden on many different bikes through your already long career, having started out in 2004 on a mini moto, was it? Yeah. I started out in, I think, 2004 with Fab Racing, with Roger from Fab. I started off there on just the mini motos, and then worked through the stages on the mini bikes. Then went on to the Metric kits. I think in 2008, or was it 2008 or 2007? Yeah, it was a Metric Kit 70 in 2008. Metric Kit 70. Yeah. A long time ago. Pretty successful. Yeah, it was. Well, you said a long time ago. It was only 11 years ago. That's not that long ago.
Not too bad, is it?
But of all the bikes that you've been on so far, either competitively or just for a bit of fun? Because I know you, for those who don't know, you do actually still go back to the Cool Fab Racing paddock just for a bit of fun, just to maybe keep yourself fresh and do that in between BSB weekends when you're not testing and doing other corporate commitments. But what would you say that you would be the most fun thing you've ever ridden on before?
It's difficult. I mean, race bikes.
Anything
100%.
Really.
The best bike I've obviously ridden has got to be the GP bike. Just because it's something so unique and so special, and not many people get the chance to be able to throw the leg over a full factory MotoGP bike. So that's probably one of my favourite bikes to ride that I've ridden. Sorry. But yeah, I enjoy just riding pit bikes, just for the fun. Like you say, I still go to Fab Racing, still go there to show my support to the young and up and coming lads, and yeah, just go back to where my grassroots are and have a bit of fun on pit bikes. And I even sometimes go on mini motos as well, which is
Yes.
good fun, interesting to watch.
Certainly is, yeah. And even though you might not be the most competitive with your frame and size anymore on the mini motos, it's still good to watch anyway. So back to your BSB this year, and will you only be doing BSB this year? Because last year you went to Japan and did a couple of things out there, the Suzuka 8 hours as well. Is there any talk of doing that, or are you just looking to focus entirely on maybe winning BSB this year?
We'll see what it's like. I mean, the possibility could be there to do the Suzuka 8 hour again with the Yoshimura Suzuki team. So we'll see what happens in the first few rounds of the British Championship, see where we are championship wise, and see how much time it's going to take out of the year to go out to Japan. So we'll see on that. I'd like to do the 8 hour again. If I get the invite, then I'm sure we can do the 8 hour again. On the World Superbike side, I'm not too sure what we're going to do yet. It all depends on where the rounds fall into the British Championship, and we'll just see along the way if we can do a few wildcards. But yeah, obviously my main focus this year is got to be to do my best in the British Championship. I mean, we was good last year, a little bit inconsistent. We showed good results. So this year we've got to crack on, knuckle down and get the best results we can, and concentrate on the BSB and do the best job we can as a team.
And talking a bit more about that consistency, I suppose, obviously it's always difficult to get consistency, but have you got a special method now, do you think, or a certain approach that you've found that you think will keep you consistent in the title hunt this year?
I think with what we learnt last year, I think we can go into this year a lot more positive, and with what we learnt, I think we can attack the championship in a different way. I learnt a lot in myself last year, and the team learnt a lot about the bike, and I learnt a lot about working with the team together, and they learnt a lot about me. So 2018 was a massive experience year, a massive learning year for me and also for the team. And I think with what we learnt last year, we can improve this year, and be a lot more consistent. And yeah, just with what we learnt, I think we can start moving forward and make the championship a little bit better.
A lot of people already, with some of the front-running names from last year in 2018 having left BSB now, gone on to do other things like Jake Dixon and Haslam as well. A lot of people looking to you, especially Brad, now to step up and be one of the, if not the title contender. Yeah,
I mean, it's funny because obviously Jake and Leon were one of the two standout riders from last year, and obviously one of the strongest. But it's going to be exactly the same this year. I mean, BSB doesn't get any easier. There's two people left, but there's going to be two people that have come in and going to be fighting up the front. So that's the good thing about BSB. It's never going to be a championship where it's dull. It's never going to be easy. There's always going to be people out there. There's always going to be a fight for the win, and there's always going to be 6 or 8 people fighting for the victory. So there's a few people I've got in mind who are going to be very, very strong this year throughout the year. But yeah, we just got to go in and do our own job and concentrate on ourselves and work out what we're going to do next year to make it a better year. Obviously, we managed to secure the showdown this year, but once we was in the showdown, we wasn't strong enough and wasn't consistent enough. So there's a lot we got to work on for this year, and I think we've learned a lot last year to move forward. Yeah,
certainly. And if this 2019 season is anything like last year, it will be certainly sensational anyway. But there's usually the, say, 2 or 3 or 4 candidates that usually emerge as the front runners, and then there's like probably 10 others that you look at to maybe possibly get into the showdown. So have you all, I know you've probably already got it in your mind who you think your main people are who you have to look out for. Have you already started the mind games on Twitter and stuff?
No, I don't do any of that. I try and keep myself quiet, keep myself out of the way, and not let people know what I'm doing or what I think. So that's my attitude. That's the way I go about things. I just go there and do my job and do it to the best I can. I mean, there's a few people who I know are going to be strong throughout the whole year. You've obviously got people who are going to be strong at a few rounds and not so strong at others. But at the end of the day, it's British Championship, it's BSB, so there could be surprises throughout the whole year. So yeah, I'm ready to give it everything I've got. I think we can be a title contender, that's for sure. So yeah, we just do what we can and keep strong throughout the year.
And one final question before we let you go home, I guess, to prepare for the season. The pre-season, which we're in at the moment, is always so, I suppose, competitive, really. Nobody exactly knows what everybody else is doing. Some people going off to do a bit of training in various people's training camps and stuff all over the world and doing various bits of things. And I know you've been doing some stuff as well, having a bit of fun here and there. But training and also a lot of sponsor work as well is massively more probably important now so than ever before to get the personal sponsors that can get you the rides in the first place. So if you were particularly I don't know if you had like a tip for some of the younger riders who were maybe just starting out racing, and because you're going through that phase and you have already come through that phase and you're still quite young and you are still learning a lot. But if you've got any advice for younger riders as well, Brad, what might it be, if anything?
The one thing that I've always not learned from racing, but always had in the back of my mind is the drive to do it. From when I was a young kid, from when I first started out, it's always something that I've wanted to do. So I've been quite self-driven to keep my mind on the racing and give it everything I've got to try and succeed in it. And yeah, if you're a youngster coming through, you've got to be 100% committed to wanting to become a motorcycle racer. Don't ever be pushed into doing it because you'll find the results won't be there and you won't enjoy it. That's the one thing I've always said to myself. You've got to go out there, you've got to have fun, and you've got to enjoy it. When the enjoyment stops and when you don't have fun anymore, then that's when you know it's maybe time to look for something else. Because we all start racing because we want to get somewhere, but at the end of the day, we all start as well because we absolutely love it and enjoy it, and it's something that we're so passionate about and want to succeed. So for any of the young kids out there, just keep going, keep moving forward, and keep believing in yourself and just do what you can to succeed, and obviously be self-driven. Don't be driven by other people or by family members or anything like that. If you want to do racing, then do it for yourself. If you don't want to do racing but you're being pushed, then maybe have a sit down and find something else. But yeah, just give it all you got and enjoy it and have fun.
Top advice for any young racer as well, not just rider. Brad, you have a lot of support online from your fans and also sponsors as well. Who's with you this year?
Yeah, obviously we stick with Suzuki. Hawk Racing. I've got my long-term sponsor and manager, Roger Keys and Robert from Fab Racing. They've stayed with me since I first started on the Metro kit. We've obviously got Shark helmets who have been very loyal to me for many years now. Day and Easy Levers. This will be my second year with them. And then a few personal sponsors, Swinton Insurance. They're sticking with me again this year. We've got Eyesight down in Brighton who sort out all my glasses and contact lenses, making sure my vision is the best it can be. And also a few other little sponsors. We've got Watches of Distinction who've come on board these past few years. SYPC, my S&C coach who does all my training throughout the winter and keeps me fit and mind fit throughout the year and through the winter stages. So if there's anyone out there who I've missed, obviously the biggest sponsor and the biggest people for getting me here today is my mum and dad and family who have stuck by me since I first started racing and still now support me as much as they can. So now a big thank you goes out to them for supporting me and allowing me to do something I've always dreamed to do.
Always down to earth and always great to chat to, and you're more than welcome to come back on the Superbike Show anytime you like, Brad.
Thank you very much.
Especially after you are the BSB champion of 2019. Yeah, excellent. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day and for coming on the show, and we will speak to you soon.
No problem. Thank you very much.